What's going on, guys? My name is Eldeniro and welcome to episode 26 of my Leicester City career mode. We're starting this episode off with a game against QPR, and as you can see, we're there in 6th position, just 3 spots ahead of QPR, down in 9th and about, I think that said 6 points clear maybe, but we're hoping to sort of rebuild the momentum that we had in the few games leading up to this before we were on the receiving end of a couple of defeats here and there, and just try and recapture the form that we had. Really, QPR's team is very good. It's a very well balanced one. That's kind of what I've been talking about in the last couple of episodes about the teams that I come up against and how well balanced they are. But there's a reason I haven't beaten QPR so far in this game, and it's because they do have they've got big, fast, strong defenders, and they've got agile attackers, and they're just a very good type of team. But just on the half-hour mark, we did manage to take the lead thanks to a Scott Sinclair header from a Gary Gardner free kick that hit off the wall, I think, and it did come back into Scott Sinclair, who managed to header it into the back of the net. QPR came on the attack in the 50th minute, and it wasn't even so much a chance that they created. It was just some really bad defending from me, trying to play the ball out of the back. I always do that. I don't know why. I just have it in my head that it's the thing to do because it's a passing game and stuff, and I really don't like relinquishing possession by just belting the ball forward, even though it is what you're supposed to do. You shouldn't play out of the back. You shouldn't ever try and play out of defence because it can completely come back and bite you. But we're just beyond the hour mark in the game now, and Scott Sinclair does a nice Ronaldo chop to take on Sandro, but he's never ever going to get around the big man. He plays into Dwight Gale, who does a fake shot to get around his defender, but his shot goes across the face of goal and unfortunately doesn't find the back of the net. But in the 82nd minute, we did go on a counter-attack with Jeffrey Schlupp on the ball, the fastest man in all of Leicester, and he plays the ball to Kamara, who plays it out wide to Anthony Knockaert, who a lot of people actually ask me about Knockaert all the time and why I don't play him more, and it's just simply because he hasn't really been that great for me. He's always kind of anonymous, but he did kind of create this chance as he tried to pass the ball to a certain player, and in the 84th minute, one of the QPR players just hit one of our players with the clothesline from hell inside the box. It was Knockaert, no, it was Bellerin. Look at that though. That's literally a wrestling move that you would see in WWE. He hits Bellerin in the face. After that, I took Dwight Gale off and brought Zaha on. That was a substitution I actually made around the 68th minute or so, and it took that long for there to be a stoppage in the play. But Zaha came on. His first job was to score his first ever goal in a Leicester City jersey with his first kick of the game as he steps up against Murphy in the QPR goal. Zaha puts it in like a perfect position where no goalkeeper would have saved it apart from any goalkeeper who would have dived in that direction, such as the keeper who saved Berahino's penalty in yesterday's episode against Crystal Palace. But yeah, 2-0 after 86 minutes against QPR. This would be one hell of a result because QPR are very good. Like I say, they're just a team that I've never beaten, and we do want to recapture that form. And whenever I set out to do stuff like that, I tend to just do it pretty well, in the sense that I know what I want in my head. Like, I can always remember trying to get a goal scorer, like a striker, to score a lot of goals and have every single bit of play being filtered through that player and stuff. And this season, for us, it's been sort of weird because Dwight Gale has scored a fair few goals for us, Scott Sinclair has scored a fair few goals, and Jeffrey Schlupp has scored a fair few goals. Even Gary Gardner has 4 goals this season, as far as I know. So, it's pretty good. The players that we have, there's been a good sort of division of the goals spread across the team, and I think that that's a good sign that we are playing as a team and a good unit and stuff. But we are approaching January, and I don't really know where to strengthen the team. I don't know what aspects of it in particular need to be strengthened. I'd maybe like to get another like a holding midfielder or something like that. Maybe I'd love to get Tom Huddleston actually, but I assume a lot of you guys probably wouldn't like me going after him because he's 29 years old. But he's just unbelievable. His stats are ridiculously good. Another player, or another thing that might happen is that somebody might buy Mark Albrighton, because I don't really feel like giving him a contract for 30 grand a week, and he is on 20 grand a week, and it would be pretty good to get rid of him because we'd have a lot of extra cash lying around. He's been in form in this game, and he's always in the news headlines in the transfer news or the world news section of the game itself. He's always in there. He's always rated highly. I have a feeling there'll be a bid for him. So if there is, I might go after Townsend, maybe. There's another guy who plays for Bolton called Chris Leicester, who I'd like to sign just so I can say I have Leicester playing for Leicester. But we come up to the 52nd minute of this game, which is against Sunderland, which I didn't even introduce. But check this out as the ball comes to Scott Sinclair, and he uses his pace and agility to just take it around the 3 players who tried challenging him. Then he gets into the box, and that tapping the finesse shot into the back of the net makes it 1-0 to us away from home in the snow. We're breaking all kinds of milestones today. I never ever beat QPR in FIFA 15, and I never won a game in the snow in FIFA 15, but when Jeffrey Schlupp took control of this ball, running against Vergini and burying it into the back of the net, I knew that the victory was sealed at that exact moment, and we would pick up our first win in the snow. I think we've only played 2 games in the snow before, one of which was against Man City where we got battered, and one which was against Arsenal where we lost in the last minute thanks to a heartbreaking goal from I forget what player it was actually, but a really good 2-0 victory away from home against Sunderland. That's a victory that I'm delighted with, and we go into our next game, which is against West Bromwich Albion, and this is some kind of a Midlands derby, I suppose, maybe. They're all in the Midlands in England, that counts as something, doesn't it? But West Brom's team is decent enough. They're playing with Gary Taylor-Fletcher, who obviously was involved in the deal that we made to bring Berahino to the club, who sits on the bench for us. Our team lineup has Zaha playing in the false nine, in the centre forward position, just to give Scott Sinclair a little bit of a rest against his former club. And in the 2nd minute, I don't know how you pronounce his name actually, but he comes in on goal, has a shot, and then there was another shot from another player that went horribly wide. But it was just to show a little bit of the early pressure that West Brom were having in the game. And then in the 6th minute, the ball comes to Gary Mackay-Steven, who should have done a lot better from that chance. But it's very hard to fire the ball across the face of goal, and it's one of those things where you kind of have to condition yourself when you get a new FIFA game. And I'm still not at the stage where I instinctively go for the near post or I instinctively go for the finesse shot. But hopefully we'll get there soon, because that could make a real difference for us in the amount of goals that we're scoring, even though we're one of the highest scoring teams in the league overall, which is pretty cool, and it's not to be laughed at, you know. But we come up to the 21st minute with a DA on the ball. He gets into the box and just finesses it around the keeper, but unfortunately for him, it also went around the post. And then 20 minutes later, Simpson plays the ball into Camara, who has a look up and feeds it into Dwight Gale, who gets into a really good position before shooting straight at the post. And that's what I'm talking about, just instinctively looking for the near post, because you're far more likely to beat the keeper at the near post in this game than you are at the far post, unless you've got a powerful player who hits shots with power regularly. But the ball comes to Davidson on the edge of the area in the 45th minute, and he's actually a left back who I did look at signing. I looked at potentially maybe getting him into the club, but I don't know if I'm going to do that or not. But we come into the 46th minute with Zaha on the ball. He goes for the Ronaldo chop and the finesse shot, which was blocked, and the rebound falls to Gary Gardner, who heads it into the back of the net. That was kind of similar in a way to the first goal we scored in the episode from Scott Sinclair, but Gary Gardner making it 1-0 for us with his 5th goal of the season, which is a really good return. And Zaha goes for the Ronaldo chop after 53 minutes, but he's brought down by Jonas Olsen, and the referee comes over and gives him a red card. I think he brandished the red card so readily because of the fact that Zaha was true on goal, and he dubbed this to be a goal scoring opportunity. And to be honest, I do agree with him. The shot, you know, as the shot was going to go in, it looked like a goal scoring opportunity, but he wasn't necessarily the last man back, so I don't know. Would you give a red card? Is that a red card by the letter of the law? I'm not too sure, but I find it really odd that that can be a red card, but you foul someone in the box for a penalty, and it's never a red card for a foul in the box on any FIFA game ever, and it's so bizarre. But Gardner stepped over the free kick, and do you know, as easy as it is to take free kicks in this game, even though it did hit the crossbar there, to be fair, I really struggle with the ones that are just a little bit too close to the goal. I think like 30 yards, 25 yards, that distance is easy enough, but 18 yards is really difficult to score from. But unfortunately for us, West Bromwich Albion equalised after the hour mark with Gary Taylor-Fletcher coming in and scoring. The man who, like, he's a lot bigger than that in real life, I swear, I'm sure he is. But yeah, I was gutted that he scored. It was his 2nd goal of the season as well, according to the HUD that came up. But it's really annoying because they had 10 men and we were pressing and pressing, and we were just the better team overall. But Zaha in the 68th minute plays the ball into Gary Gardner, who was very unfortunate to not at least hit the target from there. You would think he would when he has something like 76 finishing and 84 shot power and all of these amazing stats. But We had a disastrous moment in the 77th minute when Scott Sinclair picked up an injury, and it was from, like, look at that, he lands on his head. That would literally kill a man. But in the 81st minute, after making a substitution, Zaha plays the ball into Schlupp, who did come on in place of Sinclair. Schlupp does a little bit of a stuttering fake shot and approaches the goal. And I went for the right-footed finish because I always forget that he's left-footed, and look at how bad of a finish that was. But he would get another chance just 2 minutes later. Schlupp bearing down on goal, this time with his left foot, this time the finesse shot, and it still goes wide, and we miss our chance to win the game and go further up the league. But not to worry, a draw away from home is always going to be a good result against any team with the type of form that we're in anyways. So I'll take that, and I'll take our league position, and I'm fairly happy with how it is. We'll take a look at the league table in the next episode and the squad report, because we will be hitting January in the next episode, so I'm going to try and get some transfer activity done in that month as well. But yeah, that's the end of this episode. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please do leave a like. That would be much appreciated. Sorry this episode was up a little bit later than usual, but I was out last night, as you can probably hear from my voice. But yeah, I've been Eldenero. Thanks for watching.